Man, what is this? Really? What is this? Russell Westbrook has requested to come off of the bench. This is what Chris Haynes is reporting. This is what everybody's reporting. Yo, this is a damn joke. And y'all are hyped over this, ain't y'all? I've seen already. I'm looking at my man Showtime. You know, he a Clippers fan. Man, y'all are. What is wrong with y'all, man? This is this is terrible, yo. Y'all really think that this is the answer? Really? All right, cool. So Westbrook, he's requested to come off of the bench, giving the Clippers some opportunity to build some chemistry in the starting lineup. This is crazy to me. Shout out to my boy Code in the building. Code, what's the word, gang? Salute to you, my G. This is laughable to me, man. How is Russell Westbrook making this request going to be the answer to all the problems that the LA Clippers are having? The Clippers have lost 6 in a row. Right now in the Western Conference, they at 3-7. The only thing that the Clippers have really to go off of now is that the rest of the division, for the most part, has been playing that great. Phoenix hasn't been playing that great. The Lakers haven't been playing that great. You also have Golden State, who I believe has lost 5 in a row. Sacramento, for the most part, has only been the consistent presence as a winner in the Pacific Division, and they won the division last year. But this, to me, is so funny for so many different reasons. Now, I'm not going to shoot no shots at Russell Westbrook because he made this request. But it didn't take a rocket science to know that one of these guys needed to come off of the damn bench. I guess the question is Russell the right one? My G, welcome to the Best of 7 Sports Talk family.
What's going on? What's going on?
Now you know how to fuck we do, man. This shit is crazy. Your boy Russell Westbrook takes the initiative, says that he wants to come off the bench and help the chemistry of the starting five. Now you look at Westbrook's numbers for the season already. He's averaging about 14, 7, and 6, shooting about 47% from the field. Now, bro, Westbrook shouldn't have been starting in the first place, if you ask me. I wasn't mad that the Lakers was able to get him out of uniform, but Westbrook, when you talk about chemistry, not to say that he was a problem, you go from 4-ball dominant guys to 3-ball dominant guys basically now. Big deal. What's the difference? Who's going to still facilitate this madness? What's your reaction to what Russell was talking about right now, bro?
Hey man. So I feel like Russ can give them more coming off the bench. You feel what I'm saying? He seems to be the best point of attack defender on the team, which is crazy. Um, Harden really like not starting games off well, and he's really not finishing them well. So I don't know what Tyler was doing. I'm sorry. I don't
See, this is the
like.
thing. This is the thing. Harden is not starting off games well because everybody has Harden into this system of being a facilitator, and he's trying to explain he is not the system, he is a system, or he's not a system, he is the system, or however you want to word it. He really needs to be the number one on any franchise that he's on. That's the only way you really gonna max out on James Harden. And I'm not saying that he's better than Kawhi Leonard or he deserves to be the number one, but if you're going to get the maximum from Harden, you have to really put him in the position to be score first. And that's not going to happen in LA with the Clippers. But him not starting off good, I think is partially due to him deferring to Kawhi, Paul George, just trying to get involved. Same thing he did in Philadelphia. Um, Same thing in Brooklyn. This to me doesn't change any narrative. This doesn't make me feel like, oh, now that Russell was coming off of the bench in the second unit, the Clippers now might win the Pacific Division. Like this is a damn joke to me, bro. Because of all the praises that I get. Now people are saying Russell this shows leadership. You think this shows leadership from Russell Westbrook? What do you think about him initiating this statement? Does this show leadership?
I think it does. I'm one of those people, like, even though I was slandering him when he was on the Lakers, like Russell, he's always been a leader.
Thank you.
I've never
Thank you.
seen James be that type of leader ever. But I just feel like the fit of this entire team is horrible. You feel what I'm saying? You have four ball dominant people, all under 6'8",
Yep.
and one real center who can't guard elite centers. So it's just like I don't see the Clippers doing anything. It don't matter how Ty Lue chop it up. I know they just got Daniel Tice, but he not really moving the needle for me. You feel what I'm saying? Like this team's a disaster.
It is a nightmare. And I'm gonna take it a step further because you brought his name up. Ty Lue. Yeah, he won a championship in 2016, but he has never had the challenge of having to manage these many egos, these types of egos. And mind you, the Clippers, as far as their stars go, all these guys could be gone this summer. It's really
Mhm.
do or die for the Clippers. I believe Harden, Westbrook, Kawhi, Paul George all could enter free agency this summer, if I'm not mistaken. So they really playing with house money, putting all the chips on the line. But man, it has definitely been a nightmare. But it's been a nightmare since them boys came together in 2019. They
Mhm.
have not exceeded any expectation in Los Angeles. But as far as Russell Westbrook go being a leader, like you said, I've never really seen people complain about Russell Westbrook not being a leader or people not wanting to play with Westbrook outside of maybe him being a
Okay.
ball hawk, stuff like that. But yeah, I never got that complaint. So I think it shows leadership, but I'm not going to sit up here and praise Russell Westbrook like, oh man, he's such a leader. Everybody in the world who watched this game of basketball know one of these niggas need to come off of the bench. Like, let's just be honest. And like I said, he's not putting up world numbers. This is bench worthy, 6-man worthy production, I think.
Like I need people to understand that like D'Lo is playing like exponentially better than Russell Westbrook. Like more
And what does
points,
that
more
say?
assists, more efficient. Cause
Yep.
like Westbrook still got like this name where they're like, oh no, Westbrook coming off the bench. Like it's Russell Westbrook coming off the bench. You got an MVP coming off the bench. No, bro. Watch basketball, please.
Yep.
Now I will say down the stretch of that last game, remember they took Westbrook out with 5 minutes in the clutch and scored one basket. That was
Yep.
crazy. That was crazy. I will give Russ his props right there. He was like the only true facilitator and real person making things move in that game. But overall, Russell Westbrook should be coming off the bench. He's putting up 6-man numbers.
That
He's
was really my
really
next question is to you. Is he the right one out the four? I mean, I know you're not going to sit Kawhi, but out the four, is he the right one to come off of the bench? We talk about Harden, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Russell Westbrook. Was he the right one?
uh, yeah, I think he's the right one. Harden has still showed you last year that he could lead the league in assists. Um, Paul George can pretty much play with anyone. They not gonna put Kawhi on the bench, so it had to be Russell.
Got you. Does this make Coach Ty Lue look bad because Russell Westbrook identified this problem? And a lot of people, I don't think were really shocked about not so much the message, but the messenger. I don't think a lot of people expected Russ Westbrook to initiate offering coming off of the bench to help the chemistry of the starting five. Because what that lets you know is two things. First of all, he's showing humility, but he's also admitting, and it's clear because we're watching these guys lose six in a row. They don't have any chemistry now that James Harden is involved. So he's kind of throwing his guys under the bus, but he's keeping it real. But he's also initiating a change. Does that look bad on the head coach that you got a player doing that instead of Ty Lue, who really gets paid to identify those types of problems and provide resolutions?
Well, I feel as though any like real basketball fan that really be watching the Clippers and stuff, Ty Lue's stupid. So I feel like people like actual basketball fans aren't surprised that it would take for Russ to take that first step for something to change.
Right.
But now to the casual fan, it definitely looks horrible because they're like it took for a player to make a coaching adjustment, and don't let them win this next game. Oh my God, don't let them win this next game. It's gonna get really bad for Tyler. It's gonna get really bad for Tyler because they're gonna say it took for a player to make an adjustment for y'all to finally win. Fire the coach. That's exactly what they're gonna say.
Do you feel sorry a little bit, Cole, for Russell Westbrook overall is his career? Should he does Russell West have a career that people should feel sympathetic for?
Um, I want to say not really. The only the only thing that they should feel sorry for is like he got so close to a ring like twice,
Mhm.
and then the first time he was just too young, got outperformed by the Heatles. Second time, blew a 3-1 lead. Like you, sometimes you can't do nothing but feel sorry for him. But at the end of the day, he's an MVP. He revolutionized the way we looked at MVP votes. He revolutionized the way that we looked at
Triple
point
doubles.
guards that rebound.
Yep,
Like
yep. Hmm.
you know, he's still a great player. He just doesn't have the greatest accomplishment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I think he's had a great career. Whereas though you can't feel sorry for him in a sense, but like when you look at the history of Russell Westbrook, what he went through with Kevin Durant leaving him, and then trying to find his way on the team, and then he makes his way to Los Angeles. Everything thought it was going to be peaches and cream in LA, and it just went terrible with the Lakers in those 2 years, and then he wound up coming off the bench in his second years. He showed some humility. He comes to the Clippers. He takes a massive pay cut in the summer with the Clippers, to help them build.
Hmm.
Now he's going to have to come off of the bench, or now he's suggesting that he's going to have to come off the bench. Like it's just like he can't win for losing.
That's another thing, OG. How do you take a pay cut and y'all still mess up the roster? Y'all still mess up the roster.
Chasing clout, being pressed to like again. All these guys know that they have to get it done this season. There is really no next year for this unit when we talk about the Clippers. Like it's going to be different, pretty much guaranteed next season. So these guys are looking at it like, okay, I'm willing to literally buy into whatever I have to do to get the Larry O'Brien trophy because Russell don't have that hardware. And I think partially that's one of the reasons why um he embraced coming off of the bench in LA last season. And Russell Westbrook coming off of the bench with the Lakers, he was a six-man of the year candidate at times.
Hmm.
Like he was playing well in that role. So I
Yeah.
just don't see no stability with it. And then if the Clippers are still losing, is he going to ask to come back into the starting unit? Is he going to complain that he's not being put back in the starting unit because they still not winning? Like these egos, bro, you don't really know how they going to play. And then the Clippers right now, like you look at their record in their division, you got the Suns, you got the Warriors, you got the Lakers, and you got the Kings, who right
Jesus
now in the
Christ.
West is 6, 7, 8, and 9. You see where the Clippers are.
Yeah.
Can you realistically see the Clippers overlapping anybody in their division alone? I don't. It's
No,
I, you know,
unless the Warriors just stink it up. Like I don't, you know.
and there's a lot of basketball still to be played. So I'm not trying to act like it's a lock that the Clippers are going to be in last place and nothing like that. But the Western Conference is getting better. All these teams are getting better. The only thing I think that's keeping the Clippers afloat, like I said, is that most of the teams in the Pacific Division are up and down or on a losing streak themselves. But it's crazy, Cole. Like, yo, what has been the biggest complaint with the Clippers for the last couple of years? It's just been about availability and load management. That's been the biggest complaint. These dudes are actually outside. Kawhi's on the basketball court. Paul George is on the basketball court. Russell Westbrook is on the basketball court. James Harden is in uniform. And these dudes have lost 6 in a row, bro. Mm,
That is so
mm.
crazy though, because it's like I remember, I remember them days in the bubble, because I was in high school when the bubble happened, so I ain't had nothing to do. I remember those days in the bubble where they was like, "Oh, this is the deepest team in the league." Da da da. All we waiting for is Kawhi to be healthy, and y'all have the same Terrence Mann. Like y'all got PJ Tucker. Oh yeah, by the way, PJ Tucker is the only player under contract off the Clippers nation. Everybody else is
Wow.
gone.
Wow.
Everybody else is gone. Y'all
That's
have Kawhi,
insane.
y'all have PG. Kawhi played more games than LeBron last year, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like, what is the excuse? Like, Steve, like their GM needs to do better. That's about it. Their GM needs to do better. They need a new coach that knows how to play with big men, and they need to get it together. They need, instead of acquiring star power, I think they should have honestly sent some of their star power away. But it's like, what would they get for it? Like they waited for a trade at the worst possible time.
Yeah, that's
They were
true.
they were struggling with size, and they sent forwards away. Like this team don't know what they're doing.
For some scoring guards. Right. You're right, bro. Because you got to think about it on paper, at least on paper, when Kawhi and Paul George first came to the Clippers, you had Marcus Smart, you had Pat Bev, you had a lot of defensive presence. They looked dangerous. They looked to be, a team that was going to be uh, a threat in the Western Conference because they literally built around those guys of Kawhi and Paul George. But then you go through so many years of unavailability, you got to bring somebody in that's going to help, get you over the hump or at least try. So now, for some reason, you feel like Russell Westbrook and James Harden is the answer. And like I said, that's the crazy part. You got 4 ball dominant guys, and they all play the guard, small forward position. None of them are dominant big men, where though you could balance it out a little bit. Like, so as a Laker fan, bro, I'm just sitting here laughing. I am laughing my butt off. But what if Cole Russell Westbrook is being like a genius behind the scenes? He's not having a bad year. He's having a decent year. He's not giving nobody no trouble. He hasn't been in the headlines at all, right? For doing anything or saying anything wrong, right? He's also now initiated a possible solution for his franchise, somebody that I'm pretty sure no one would have predicted would have initiated it. Not that he wouldn't have had a problem with coming off the bench if Ty Lue initiated it, but the fact that Russell Westbrook initiated, I think the fans are again going to be looking at him now as some type of leader. What if Russell Westbrook know right now that this shit is not going to work with the Clippers, no matter if he come off the bench or starting? What if this is like a tactic for Russell for trade bait to show that he has some trade value. Like he's showing how good of a person he can be and good of a teammate he can be to possibly be shopped and moved away from the Clippers. Do you think maybe Russell Westbrook on the low has had enough of the Clippers and know that the writing is on the wall and they not going to win?
Yeah, I think like if anybody knows when they're in losing situations, it's Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, and LeBron.
James
So I
Harden
feel like
too. Look at James
oh,
Harden. James Harden is the poster child of when he knows shit is about to collapse. He dips.
oh yeah, when those four, like when they know they're in losing situations, they know something has to change. Last time Russ was in a losing situation, he came off the bench, so I think he feel like, okay, I'm playing with more ball dominant guys. Because last time you have LeBron and AD, which AD not really being a ball dominant guy. So he's like, okay, maybe I could come off the bench. Maybe the ball will be in my hand more. Maybe I could affect the game more with this second unit than I can with these stars. We know with James Eagle, like he's not coming off the bench. This is not happening. So I feel like that was Russell's step forward.
Right.
Um, but overall, I do feel like this could kind of be trade break because it's still Russell Westbrook. Like
Thank you. Thank you.
it's
And
still
and we
Russell
can't
Westbrook.
forget the scenarios are a little bit different because with the Lakers, Russell Westbrook was being villainized. People were
Mhm.
holding Russell Westbrook at fault for the Lakers not winning. So him, being advised to come off of the second unit or him not making a fuss about Darvin Ham's suggestion, I think people were good that he was being a good team player, but people felt like he was the problem. So we're not going to give him no credit at all because he was the problem from the start. He should have been coming off the bench. So that's why I don't think that that's why I feel like it resonates a little bit different with this Clippers situation, just for the simple fact that he is playing well. Number one, he's not causing any issues. Number two, and there is clearly a problem. And usually, the guy that you pay as a head coach is supposed to be the one to identify these problems. Not only identify them because we all watch the game, but provide resolutions either internally or to the public. And here you have Russell Westbrook, no one, who just dealt with this coming off of the bench stuff. And he's the one that's initiating coming off of the bench because there's a lack of chemistry with this starting unit. I think this makes him look much better than him just accepting coming off of the bench with the Lakers.
I, that
So it's
front office looks worse and worse by the year.
the
Like
Clippers
yes, like you got
because
okay, you get Kawhi and PG in I think that was 20 oh the 2019-2020 season, right?
yep,
So you get them two, you get a whole bunch of 3-and-D players and a 6'7" center, and the whole world is set on fire like, "Oh, this is the deepest team in the NBA." Da, da, da. You're
yep,
championship favorites for like 2-3 years because everybody's saying you just got hurt, and then we come to this year. Well, not even this year. We go to last year where y'all embarrassed yourselves. Y'all embarrassed yourselves because Kawhi played like one game in the first round. What Russell Westbrook was the best player on your team for an entire playoff series against
terrible.
against Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, which was insane. You finally get to this year, and everybody's like, okay, maybe they're picking the pieces up. You feel what I'm saying? Russ has this newfound, uh, he has this
Humility.
newfound like, yeah, ability. He's like a much better on ball defender than I've really ever seen him be. Like he's bought in, but your other star players aren't bought in. Like, and then you trade for another star that's also not bought in. Like this front office look worse by the year, man. They really do. Like you can afford to have one center. Like even us, we only have like one true defensive center in Anthony Davis. But we have other big men still. Like Jackson Hayes is not a small guy. He's 7 feet tall.
Christian Wood.
Christian
Yep.
Wood's not a small guy. Rui is not a small guy.
Yep.
Who do they have on their team? Like PJ Tucker's like 6'5". This this front
Nasty
office
work,
looks worse
bro.
by the year.
Nasty work with the damn Clippers. Whoever think that this shit is going to make any type of change, I swear to God, I got to talk to the bosses. Y'all need to truly be drug tested because this thing ain't gonna work at all, bro. I swear to God. But I'm not mad at Russell Westbrook for making the suggestion. I'm a little bit surprised he did it. I do think this makes Tyloo look a little bit bad, but at the end of the day, it ain't going to change this right here. And this is the
Okay.
bottom line. This move is not going to make the Clippers winners overnight, all of a sudden, or none of that. The only reason why the Clippers right now are going to keep any relevancy is because you got teams like the Suns, the Lakers, and the
Kings,
who else is in that division?
Suns, Lakers, Kings, Warriors.
And the Warriors playing inconsistent. The Warriors have lost 5, 6 in a row.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
2020.
Once
Sensation said the Clippers' best chance was 2020. Who was that? Well,
he ain't lying.
that was the year that LeBron and them lost to Phoenix in the first round.
No, that was 2021. 2020, we won the championship in the bubble.
Oh, I
Yeah,
never thought that the Clippers was going to beat the Lakers though. When we got AD,
never. They didn't stand a
even in the
chance.
bubble, shit. No, I wasn't scared of the Clippers at all. I was hoping that we was going to meet them in the playoffs. Who they lose to? Denver.
Uh, oh, I remember Luca and KP went off on them in some year, but
I
it
think it
might
was
have
the
been
same year in
Denver.
the bubble. Luca had that game winner against the Clippers
I
that
think it was
same
Denver
in the
though.
bubble. And then I think they played Denver, and I think they had a 3-1 lead on Denver and blew it or something like that.
Yeah, cause it was them. I remember PG breaking forward in the corner, so I think it's Denver. 21 Clippers made it further.
The following season, yeah, they made it further, but they wouldn't have made it past the Bucks. Like the Clippers, bro. Let's just be honest. Initially, at least, that team was not built to win a championship. That team was built to beat the Lakers. That's what it was about. When Kawhi Leonard and Paul George came together, it was all about taking over Los Angeles, building a new culture in Los Angeles. These guys really thought that they could make LA Clippers town. Like they really had that going on. They built their team to beat the Lakers. And that's how they came up so short in the postseason, among other things. They ain't even get to play the Lakers. So, you know.
Exactly.
But again, I'm on YouTube. I'm watching my man Showtime. He's sitting there talking about how Russell Westbrook is a leader. And I'm like, look at all these Clipper fans talking crazy. Really?
Clipper fans don't exist, man. What is y'all culture? Like, is y'all
They
culture
have
blowing
none.
leads?
I need them niggas to get up out of my first of all, they need to get up out of what's the name of our goddamn arena?
A crypto,
Yeah, crypto. Get your own
please.
spot. I can't wait till they move. They supposed to be moving, I think, at the end of the year.
That's what I'm saying. They're moving and taking no banners with them. This is nasty.
Well, that's what the Clippers said, Jay. I'm so sick
Yeah,
of people
Lou Will
making
said that.
excuses about the bubble.
Lou Will said that in an interview, and they fried him on Twitter. Even Shannon Sharp, Shannon Sharp, when they had lost their last game, they was like they must have heard nobody was gonna buy stock into the in season tournament, and that's why they lost the game in the clutch.
That's crazy.
Oh my god, this idiot!
Really?
Oh my
What?
god, this is a
Kendrick
horrible
Perkins.
list.
This is his top 5 guards in the Eastern Conference. Tyrese Maxey, Tyrese Halliburton, Drew Holiday, DeJounte Murray, and Jimmy Butler. I, wait a minute. Is Damian Lillard in the Milwaukee Bucks in the Western Conference now?
Bro, I think
What?
he's just going off this season. Um, we gotta point out like the most egregious thing on this list being Jimmy Butler being here,
You don't
like at
like
all.
Jimmy? Why y'all
Jimmy
don't, why
Butler.
y'all
Jimmy Butler's a
disrespect Jimmy so
three.
much,
He's a
bro?
three. No, he's a three.
Okay, okay, I respect that.
No. He's a three. And he hasn't. If I want to be fair though, like he hasn't really been going off this season. His season high so far is like 32 or something like that. Like he hasn't really been going off this season. Um, Drew Holiday being on this list, but not Damian Lillard, is egregious.
So listen, and the top of the food chain is disrespectful. Like yo, Kendrick Perkins, bro. This clearly to me shows that Kendrick Perkins is a prisoner of the moment. I'm pretty sure he created this list coming off of the 50-point performance.
Yeah,
Philly has been playing well. It hasn't been all due to the play of Tyrese Maxey though. It's partially been due to that. But he is not the number one point guard in the damn Eastern Conference right now, bro. Like, what? This is insane.
I could argue it's Hallie, if I'm being honest.
Halliburton has been doing his thing and making no mistakes doing it.
Yeah,
That's how efficient that kid is, bro. Halliburton is an all-star in the making, and he doesn't make mistakes. Kendrick Perkins is a damn clout chaser, bro. I swear. These guys know how to say certain things, for shock value. This is their job and all that. I don't want to disrespect the man in his profession, but come on, bro. Like,
no.
really?
Seven, you know what makes it worse? He put this list on national television after Halliburton had that 2 game stretch of 58 points and 32 assists on no turnovers over
That's
2 games.
crazy, fam. But like I
Like,
say, Tyrese Maxey just had that 50-point performance, I think, and I'm pretty sure this is the energy that Kendrick Perkins took because we see how he has this admiration for LeBron James. Every time LeBron does something specific, how he's so extra with it to show his admiration for the king. So I don't, I'm not really tripping off of him, but he is bugged out. Then we got this guy right here. I understand you repping and showing love to your fellow Celtic. But Paul Pierce say Jason Tatum is the best American player in the world when it comes to this game of basketball. You agree with Paul Pierce? Is
I,
Jason Tatum the best American basketball player in the world?
I thought Tatum been better than KD for a minute now.
What?
Nah, yeah. After after I watched the series where Tatum was rebounding, defending, passing, scoring, all that better than KD. Wow, he's basically his primary defender that series too.
Right.
Like he was like Tatum was like having his way on the defensive end and the offensive end, and then I was like, yeah, like, because basically the series looks like 1v1 basketball, and Tatum was just better. If you put if you put him and KD in black suits and didn't say which one is which, everybody would say that guy was the better player, and that's just how I feel.
Everybody
He's
but me.
had,
Everybody but me.
oh my
I'm not
god,
putting Jason Tatum above Kevin Durant. Cole, are you
I
kidding me, bro?
I am, man. And
So you're telling me. So let me ask you this, because maybe we're looking at this from two different lenses. Are you talking about you have to be talking about today. You're not talking about overall body of work. I'm assuming you're talking about today's game.
yeah, today's game, last year's game, like I thought,
Wait a
I,
minute.
like
How long have you thought that Jason Tatum been better than KD?
for like a year and a half.
2 years. So coming off of the NBA Finals loss to the Golden State Warriors, where he choked, came up short in the final round, and Jaylen Brown looked like the real leader of the Celtics. Coming off of that performance,
Mhm.
you had Jason Tatum playing better than KD.
I mean, KD got swept by him that same year.
Was KD not returning from injury?
Oh my God!
I'm just
Stop.
asking. I want us to paint a real picture. That's all I'm just saying. For the
Oh
American
my
public, I think we
God!
deserve a real picture because it's blasphemous for you to say and I'm seeing Justin say the same thing, that y'all got Jason Tatum over Kevin Durant, even today.
What outside of scoring the ball, what does Kevin Durant do better than Jason Tatum? And I didn't say shooting, scoring the ball.
Listen, if we were in a classroom code and we had to check off boxes, maybe you're right. Maybe I wind up checking off more boxes for for Jason Tatum. Maybe
Right.
his skill set bag at this point is more efficient. Maybe he's a little bit better of a defender, because really that's what it's all boiled down to when we talking about this conversation. Who's the better defender? Because at the end of the day, when that clock says a minute or less and the game is close, you sitting up here and trying to tell me and the American public that you want the basketball in Jason Tatum's hand instead of Kevin Durant's hand?
Yes, actually, being a
Oh
Lakers
my
fan,
God.
we just saw him choke 2 games to us 7.
Who,
Come
KD?
on, with the lead, it wasn't like we had the lead and he had to come back. He had the lead and still choked the game away to
Come
us.
on, bro. We know from day one, from game one, Kevin Durant has been short man with his team as far as the roster go. Bradley Beal just coming into play. Devin Booker been out. Jason Tatum, Boston been good from the start, right?
Oh my god! But why have they been good though?
Why have they been
Because
what?
because I said why have they been good though? Because Jalen Brown ain't been playing out of his mind. Drew Holiday's shot selection is still horrible.
No, your boy is in MVP mode. Your boy Jason Tatum is in MVP mode. I'm not going to take that away from him. But even despite all that, and despite you having Jason Tatum's skill set bag right now, today in 2023-24 above KD, I can't. If you are a GM, you're going to draft Jason. Wait a minute. So if you're in the All-Star, you're picking Jason Tatum over Kevin Durant, bro. Really?
Yes, he look 7 like
My God.
he
Oh
just
my
had
God. That is insane.
yeah. Cause
That
look,
is insane, bro.
his biggest
Tell
critique, his biggest critique is his in between game, right? His in between game of offense,
Jason
and he's
Tatum,
putting, yeah, and he's putting emphasis on that, right? KD's KD's biggest critique has
his
been
defense.
defense, playmaking, get into the rim. Like we when we point out KD's deficiencies, it's way more like it's way harder to win with those deficiencies than it is with Jason Tatum's.
Cole, I'm not gonna let you do
Cause
that. I'm not
cause
gonna let you do that to Kevin Durant,
cause
bro.
look,
I swear to
no,
God.
cause
Give it up one time. Can we drop a bomb for Cole for being disrespectful to Kevin Durant, please, right now? I can't allow you to do that, bro. Because all this KD can't the lane and all this other stuff. Like, yo, you got we can agree that these are not roles Kevin Durant has been asked to play, or he is not legendary because of that. KD is legendary because he's a sniper.
mm,
So who cares how he's getting the 2 points or the 3 points? He's still getting them, right?
yeah,
I can't really say anything about the defense. You talk about playmaking ability, getting other people involved. I don't think I don't think KD is bad at that, but that's not what they hang his hat on. KD has hung his hat, and his organization wanted him to be a scorer, a sniper. OKC wanted it that way. Golden State wanted it that way. Brooklyn wanted it that way, and it's going to wind up being that way in Phoenix. I don't know why you hating on Kevin Durant the way you do,
I'm not
especially
hating on
thinking
Kevin
Jason
Durant.
Tatum. I could see if Jason Tatum was running away right now with the MVP, even though we only 10, 11 games into the season. He's Kevin Durant, Cole. Kevin, you know this game. You watch this game like me, bro. You are saying Jason Tatum over Kevin Durant. Yo, that's what you're saying. I want you to just understand
Yes.
which is. I just don't believe you're
Cause
saying that, bro.
seven. Even think about last year, right? We're gonna say I forgot what KD averaged, but Jason Tatum averaged 30 points, right? He averaged 30
Right?
points on like above average efficiency, whatever, right? And we're gonna say Kevin Durant is just that much better of an offensive player than him when the guy's averaging 30 points, whatever. When it comes to everything else on the court,
Mm-hmm.
KD has to do more. Oh, when it comes to everything else on the court, it's like not even a question. Like I honestly feel like KD's not in the same stratosphere as him defensively right now. I feel like I feel like it's clear that Tatum's a better passer playmaker, and and in terms of leadership, KD leave every team he loses on. So it's like what are we really talking about outside of
This is
scoring?
this is this is what we're talking about because see, wow. Why would Kevin Durant have to be considered a passer playing with Chris Paul and Devin Booker? Number one,
Chris Paul got injured.
last year with Kevin Durant, they
Uh
never
huh. He
played
got injured
together.
in the playoffs. He
But
got
but
injured in the playoffs.
but I'm saying throughout the regular season run, when
Hmm.
KD went to Phoenix, was KD's role to be a facilitator? You got Chris Paul, right?
Right. Right.
Who has been a solidified point guard? You got Marcus Smart, who, mind you, was a defensive presence with Boston. Who's been a solidified point guard for Boston over the years? You have Derek White now playing well, but who's been a solidified lockdown point guard, an established one for that organization? Nobody,
Nobody.
including Kyrie.
He's a scoring
So
guard.
the responsibility of getting other people involved and being a facilitator, what have you, however you want to display it, I think Jason Tatum does do well at it. I think Kevin Durant, if put in the same position, could do the same thing. I just think the responsibilities are different. And you still have not explained to me what you've seen from Jason Tatum this season that like Kevin Durant can't do. Defense. When have Jason Tatum been defensive player of the year or an all defensive team? When has he made all defensive in his career?
I
I don't
think
know.
he made. I'm gonna look it up. I think he made it like a few times.
Justin says KD has to do more than Tatum. No, KD has to do more than Tatum.
Yeah.
Have to due to their situation and status on their team. That's pretty much what I'm saying. It's just like the roles
Are
and
we sure about that
responsibilities are
though?
so different. Yeah, because you know by default, if Boston got all their guys available on the basketball courts at the key positions, and Phoenix don't have all their guys available at the key positions, people got to step up. People are going to be asked to do more and different things. That's just that's just how it go.
But look, Seven, you just said he's like not being asked to pass the ball. So even if Boston has all their personnel, Jason Tatum still asked to be a playmaker passer and a scorer and a defender. So it's like when KD's whole when like his whole squad is out, he's just being asked to be a scorer. Because they're not asking him to battle down low and get rebounds with Nurkic. They're not asking him to do that. Devin Booker, because that would be stupid. And he's not much of a defender anymore in his career. So they're really only asking him to score. Whereas Tatum, like his team is better, but it's better because he's on it.
If I told you in hindsight, 10 games went down, and at the end of those 10 games, Kevin Durant hit more game winners than Jason Tatum hit game winners, you would still want Jason Tatum?
Are these 10 games the playoffs?
have it, yeah, they can be all playoff games.
Mm,
Would you
I
still want Jason Tatum?
not because apparently like KD's playing out of his mind, so give him the ball.
No. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not. I don't want to define it as playing out of his mind. I'm looking more forward as far as the end results. Like
Hmm.
KD is so clutch. KD is a sniper. KD is that go-to guy. KD has been known to cut people's throats at the end of games. Not so much so for Jason Tatum. So if we have a sample size of games of importance, and KD at the end of these close games are winning them, but Jason Tatum, who's had a who in these same games are losing them at the end of the game. You still want Jason Tatum, even though he got a better bag and he's a better defensive player. If the end results show that KD is winning the games, you still want Jason Tatum? Because that's what
No,
we have at the end of the day. That's my argument. You can
where
argue
do
with
we
me that
have
Jason
that?
Tatum's bag is better, but KD is the more clutch guy. He's the better closer. That's the one I want on my team to finish games, not no Jason Tatum. You
Finish
forgot that
game.
Golden State series in the finals?
Oh my God, we're bringing up Golden State KD.
No,
We're
I'm
bringing
talking
up
about
Golden
I'm
State
talking
KD.
about Boston, Jason Tatum, his poor
Oh,
performance
this.
2 years ago against Golden
Oh,
State.
okay. It's his
KD
first
never
fight.
performed like that in the finals.
Are we sure about that?
KD was MVP back to back in the finals. And I know that was a couple years ago. I know we're talking about this year specifically, so but
I'm
I
going to
don't
pull
know,
up
man.
KD's 2012 series, his first time being in the finals, and then we're going to see about that.
And look who
Because
they played
remember,
though. It's like,
look at, okay,
right? No chance of winning. And they won the first game, I think, against Miami. Didn't they win game one? Yeah,
we
because I
about to
think
see.
LeBron and them wound up winning the next four. But y'all picked Jason Tatum over Kevin Durant.
But
That is insane to me.
this is what I'm saying, though. You got to hear me out, though, right? Like, you're talking about KD closing games when I've seen Jason Tatum close series not too long ago. I see him have 51 points to close a series against the MVP and James Harden. Like
But
I don't
don't be
know.
a prisoner of the moment, Cole. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my
Don't
God.
make it seem like what you just recently witnessed from Jason Tatum, you've never witnessed before from Kevin Durant. Because I promise you, anything that Jason Tatum has done in the postseason from April to June, you have seen Kevin Durant do the same exact thing. Just pick a destination. That's all I'm saying. Don't
Have we
the
though?
only thing that we have seen Jason Tatum do in the postseason that we haven't, well, no, because KD did lose the finals. Yes. We
Yeah.
ain't seen KD close out games in the playoffs.
Give me the games though.
They eliminated the defending champion. Look what they did to the Lakers, to Kobe and them in 2000. What was that? 12. They knocked off the defending champion Dallas Mavericks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how they blew that 3-1 game to Golden State in 2016. But I hate to say it because I'm a LeBron fan, but look in 2017 and even 2018 versus Cleveland in the finals, those big time 3-point shots that KD had in LeBron's face, like,
I'm not giving you credit for big time 3-point shots if
mm.
you have you have two of the greatest spacers of all time on your team. You
but the
literally joined the
game,
greatest team. When you joined the
but the
greatest
game
team
was
of all
close
time,
though. Even with those guys, the game still wound up being close. So you needed something to separate. Like even though you
game was
got
close because
Clay.
of. Oh, go ahead.
And I'm just saying, even though you're right, you got Clay and you got Steph, so it makes the situation easier. And generally, you wouldn't though. But the game was close, despite them having that. Cleveland still made the game close, so you still need somebody to take it to another level in order for you guys to get the lead. And KD didn't hesitate to do that in front of someone who some consider the best in the world. 2 years in a row from the same spot, basically. We ain't seen
Oh,
Jason Tatum do that. We
mhm.
watched LeBron give Jason Tatum the business in the playoffs when LeBron was in Cleveland.
That was a young. This is what I'm saying though, right? You're judging like post MVP, like 30-year-old KD against like 25. I think Jason Tatum just turned 25 or something like that. Let me see. Yeah, he's 25, and we're already and you're like judging him with like 30-year-old KD, post MVP with the greatest team of all time. And honestly, we know if it was anybody else that was across from him on that court other than LeBron, they like win the finals by probably the biggest point differential we've ever seen. So it's like you can't really use those finals. That's why people put asterisks next to him. Cause he joined the greatest team of all time and it was only close because of one person.
First of all, who said it's the greatest team of all time?
It is the
Not
greatest team.
me.
Come on.
How?
Come,
They
come
lost
on, Sexton.
73-9, up 3-1 at home, and you lose. That ain't greater than me than that Jordan 72 wins team. They won the whole thing. And
If we bring it
KD
up 3
going to
1,
Golden State, KD was the finals MVP in both of those games. I mean, both of those seasons that Golden State wound up winning. KD was the X factor. I could argue with you that Golden State would have never beat LeBron in Cleveland after 2016. They had to get Kevin Durant. I don't think they would have never been able to bounce back from blowing that 3-1 lead. So you talking about you trying to play KD, and then again, you're right. We want to stick to this script. You making good points. You're not lying on nobody. I'm not going to sit up here and act like Jason Tatum's bag currently may not be deeper than Kevin Durant, but I'm still picking KD. I know what KD can do. I know what KD can do. I know what Jason Tatum can't do or hasn't done. I've watched the failures. So no, you can have Jason Tatum over Kevin Durant. We got a draft. You can have him. No problem.
and
I can't
that's
believe you.
fine.
That is
That's
insane,
fine
bro.
if you're using like your first overall pick to a guy that could just score. That's fine.
Even even today, I'm not even talking prime Kevin Durant. I'm just not sold Jason Tatum. I'll go out on a limb and say Jason Tatum will never win an NBA championship.
That's insane.
It's insane.
You know why? Because we could say
How?
the same thing about KD and OKC. If he never left OKC, he would have never won.
But he did win. He won two. I'm telling
Mm.
you, Jason Tatum will never ever win another. He will never win a championship. His window for that. I know it sounds crazy to most. He's not going to do. He had his chance. He had his chance, and he blew it. And now the Eastern Conference is getting just a little bit too deeper. Mm-mm.
Who do you see knocking them off though in the Eastern Conference?
Miami. Uh,
Oh my God.
First of all, Miami. First, no, y'all. All right, we do this
Does
every
Miami
year
knock
when it
them
comes to
off?
the Heat, huh?
Does Miami knock them off if Gabe Vincent don't dive at Jason Tatum's feet?
Yo, Miami. For the last, did they not play each other and went 7 games the last 2 seasons, right?
Yeah.
So it's always going to be a problem for Boston when we talk about Miami. And Miami is playing well. Miami might be the hottest team in the league right now. They won what, 7 in a row?
I gotta fact check
Miami
that.
is always just going to be a piece away. No
Yep.
matter how hard they play, no matter how good they are, no matter how far they go, they'll always be a piece away. They'll never win the whole thing because it's just always going to be something missing. But as far as you asking who's going to give them problems, Miami.
I'm
I
I'm
think y'all could
scared
beat
to
Milwaukee. I think y'all could beat Giannis and Dame. I think y'all could do that. But yeah, Miami has knocked y'all off, man. Stop it.
Mm,
Jason Tatum better than what?
he is. He
So look,
is.
before we get up out of here, last question. Where is Jason Tatum at as far as the best player in the world? Where do you rank him at?
Okay, so we got Jokic. We got. Oh, it's about to
You
be
got
so
Jokic
nasty.
what?
I got Jokic number one.
Oh my God, that's right.
He's the
Don't
best player in the league. We're not
yo,
having
here
this
y'all go
conversation,
with this
Seven.
crap.
We're not having this conversation,
We're not.
Seven.
We're not. Not yet. We'll wait. We'll save it. We'll save it for Sunday on Lakerland.
We
We'll
got
save it.
Jokic. We got Giannis. We got Luca. And this is where it kind of gets rough because Jokic, Giannis, Luca, Embiid, Tatum. Tatum's the fifth.
Anthony Davis is. All right. Cool. You
Anthony
got.
Davis is not top five right
I
now.
got something. That's cool. I got. I'm not even going to tell you. I'm rather show you than tell you. So it's going. I'm gonna have to put it together, but it's not a problem. I just want to make sure I got this right. You said Joker. You had
Joker,
Luca,
Giannis, Luca,
Giannis, and B
Tatum.
and who?
Tatum, number five.
Tatum. What I show you Sunday when we comparing those guys to AD is gonna hurt your feelings. Because I'm gonna tell you now, AD is having a better season than half of them guys. Just until the other night, he had better numbers overall than your boy Nikola Jokic this season. How do you explain that?
Yeah. I feel like I feel like. Wait, that was when Jokic put up that stinker, didn't he? He had like 24 or something.
How how this is another thing. Since you proclaiming this, how is a 7-footer the best player in the world who can't play defense?
Because he's the best offensive player in the world. It's the same
So
reason
his
you think. It's the same reason you think AD's top five. He's the best. He's the best defensive player in the world, and he's good to above average on offense. He's the best offensive player in the world,
no.
and he's above average on defense. Now,
I look at AD as a two-way player. I look at AD can play in defense and offense. I don't see that man.
no, cause stop. You got to stop doing that, cause then people they're gonna see AD put up like 18 in the playoff game, and we lose, and they'll be like, and that's why they start slandering them like he does when he has stinkers, cause people always give him more credit than he actually deserves, like on the offensive end. Like he's not the floor spacer he was in 2020. He's not that guy where well, not every game where he's just gonna call for the ball, put his head down, and get to the rack. Like he doesn't do that on a consistent enough basis for me to put him in a conversation with guys like Embiid and Giannis and Jokic offensively.
Y'all love to get away from the defensive questions and conversations of Nikola Jokic. It's crazy how y'all love to duck that smoke, man.
I
I
think he's an
just
above
one
average
day I'm gonna
defender.
get a real answer. I'm gonna get a real answer on how we can consider a guy the best in the world who has absolutely no presence on the defensive end, doesn't even average a block per game. He averages under a block per game, but he's a 7-footer in a league where the average center right now is 6'10". Come on, man. This is
I
laughable to me,
mean,
bro.
what
This is
happens
laughable.
when AD plays him? What happens when Giannis plays him? What happens when Embiid plays him? Like
And B gave Nikola Jokic almost 40 points last season. Anthony
oh,
Davis gave
free throw
Anthony
merchant.
Davis got Anthony Davis gave Nikola Jokic 17 points in the first half of the first game of the season. He was scoreless in the second half, but these guys, the elite big
No, no,
men,
don't skip over that. Don't skip over
what,
that.
the 0 points in the second half?
Yeah, that's
I
why he's not
acknowledged
better.
it, but I
That's why he's
acknowledged
not
it.
better.
It wasn't because of Joker. I see that's what I'm saying.
No,
I have
but what
never
I'm
in his
saying,
career seen a segment, a quarter, a half, or a game where Joker has like locked down somebody. I've never witnessed that in his whole career. Have I never witnessed a sample size of Joker defensively locking somebody down, especially a star? I remember that nigga LeBron and them picked that nigga last in the All Star thing. Remember the draft thing they had in the All Star game? They picked that nigga. He was the last nigga sitting on the bench on the chair.
Yeah,
Come on, man.
because
That was for a reason.
a lot of his flash comes from his passes though. Like with the All Star game, a lot of his flash comes with his passes. And unless you like Chris Paul or Stephen Curry, they're not really gonna care about flashy passes. Because I really feel like they're just picking the most entertaining team, and I wouldn't say Jokic to the casual fan is the most entertaining player. But with that, what the point you were going off of, right? This man, if he's just like so bad on defense, right, doesn't have another rim protector on his team, because Aaron Gordon is more of like a perimeter in between guy that could get rebounds. How did they win a championship? How they won a championship with no rim protector, right? Because you said you've never seen a quarter of him playing good defense or locking somebody up. How did they win the championship with no rim protector? When they went against Cat, they went against Cat and Rudy. They went against AD and they went against
Thank
Bam.
you.
And they went
Thank
against
you.
Bam.
Thank you. This is my point, and he stepped in it. I ain't even have to say nothing. I really
Go
appreciate it.
ahead.
That is what I've been saying from the jump. We can run those names down. Look at the competition. You ask me how did they win?
Hmm.
His Anthony Davis and the Los Angeles Lakers were pretty much burnt out in the Western Conference. And they took a so it's just like that's why he knocked off AD. How does he perform any other time versus Anthony Davis? How does Anthony Davis perform any other time?
He
Them
in
guys,
the first
including
game of
LeBron, was burnt out. They got swept right in the Western Conference Finals, right?
uh-huh.
They were out of gas. They started off 2-10. So that's what it is with that. Bam. Who else you mentioned? Cat. Who
Yeah.
else you mentioned? Those guys are not 7-footers.
Cat is 7'1".
When Cat becomes 7'1", I thought he was
He's
6'11".
he's been 7'1".
Nah, I don't know, man. I gotta look at my 2K again, man. I think I got Cat listed at 6'7", but okay, fine, okay, whatever. All right, Cat, cool. You got a little argument there. He's way smaller though, and I think he's better than Cat. Cool. Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, if
Now,
we're talking about
whatever he
size,
does against Rudy Gobert, to me, I think will be impressive offensively because Rudy Gobert is a defensive player of the year 3 times around. But flipping the script, he don't have no concern. Rudy Gobert is not no offensive threat. So what does Jokic have to do against a Rudy Gobert playing defense? Nothing.
but this is my
So these
point, though.
guys that you're telling me and listening to me is either undersized or not even offensive players. The one I feel like you got wrong was AD because if you look at all the other games that they've played during the regular season or what have you, AD gets off. Don't forget the Lakers beat the Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals for the Lakers to win their championship. So,
That was three
but I
years
guess that
ago.
was too long ago, right?
That was 3, 4 years, almost 4 years ago.
That's too long ago, right?
It
Even though
is.
Anthony Davis is on the same team, even though Nikola Jokic is on the same team, even though they pretty much have the same core, that was too
No.
long ago, right?
You know why it's too long ago? Because when is the last time Anthony Davis has shot 38% from three?
Yeah, that was a
He
special
shot
year.
that during the entire playoff run. That's why I feel like that's too long ago. He's a whole different player now. He's like 20 pounds heavier. He plays more physical now. Like that's why it's too long ago. And with with the point where you like he gets off anytime AD plays him, AD scored 17 in the first half, right?
Right.
By halftime, Nikola Jokic was already on triple double watch. And then we go to the second half where AD goes completely quiet and Jokic
Every
is carving.
conversation about Nicole, y'all keep talking this offensive BS. Y'all never. This is a 7-footer. Let me ask you this: my last question. I swear it's my last question. I gotta go.
Mhm.
Has this big man, this big old 7-footer, has he ever been in consideration for Defensive Player of the Year? Ever?
No, but only
Oh my God.
1% of players get consideration for that.
There's no way in the world you are considered the best player in the world and you're never considered for any defensive accolades when you play the biggest position in the league and
Stephen Curry.
you towering over everybody for the most part.
Mm,
Look at all the
Well,
centers in the league. There's not that many 7-footers like that. He should
well,
be averaging a triple double offensively. I'm not even questioning his offense. I'm saying, what the hell does Nikola Jokic do on defense? Absolutely nothing. And with
he
that
has
being
active
said,
hands.
huh?
He has active hands and a big body. He's
He
not
has a big
vertical, so
body.
he's not
He
he's
he
not
he help.
blocking
He
shots.
can help with just shots. But why not? So if he's not blocking shots, he's not stealing the ball. He's not averaging one block. He's 7 foot tall. He's not average. How are we considering him the best in the world, though? That's what I'm saying. How?
He's tall, but he's not vertical. Like you wouldn't send Jokic to challenge you wouldn't send Jokic to challenge Anthony Edwards who's trying to dunk the ball in the paint. So he can adjust shots, but he's never gonna be like an elite shot blocker because he has no verticality.
When I
But he
was
has active
considering Michael
hands.
Jordan, when I was considering Michael Jordan the best in the world, when I was considering Kobe Bryant the best in the world, when I was considering LeBron James the best in the world, I'm putting those guys against everybody, every position. There's no position, no other person on the basketball court that I'm going to tell the guy who I says is the best in the world stay away from because he's bigger than you or he's taller than you. No, them
But this
guys
is where the
went for it,
inconsistency comes. This is where the
huh?
inconsistency comes. Because you just said we just talked about KD and Jason Tatum, and you was
Right?
like, "Oh, Tatum does everything else better," but KD in the clutch of the game, he's a better scorer. He's a da-da-da. You could literally say that with Jokic and everybody else. He's a better offensive player than everybody else. He cooks every defense. You just said that about KD and Jason Tatum. So you could talk about AD's defense, but remember, right? In the in the in the clutch of the game, who you giving the ball to?
Out of who?
Out of AD and Jokic, 1 minute on the clock, because that's what you asked me. Who are you giving the ball to?
Anthony Davis. I'm
Yeah, it
giving
would
it
be
to Anthony
Jokic.
Davis. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Where do I have the basketball? And I know I'm being technical, but it, am I drawing up a play? Am I
Um,
having AD bring the ball down the court? Like, what's the scenario? Because it really does the matter to me. Because it really do depend.
you don't
I
have AD.
feel like AD.
Oh, go ahead.
You don't think AD is more liable to get like a and one or draw a foul or just more options to get a score than Nikola Jokic at the end of a game?
No, Jokic. Jokic can shoot the three. His in between games better, and he. You just said everybody's smaller than him. I do feel like he's more aggressive in the paint than AD.
Aggressive. You put Nikola Jokic and the word aggressive in the same sentence, really? Okay.
Yes.
My
When a
God.
guy average, you don't average a 30-point triple double through an entire playoff run by not being aggressive.
If you playing the same guy that's 2, 3, 4 inches shorter than you for in a 7 game series, you can
Who's what?
look
Who's
at the
four
guys
inches
he was
shorter than him?
facing. Look at the guys he was facing. Look at the guys he was facing.
He faced two 7-footers in one
Yeah, he
series.
did have DeAndre Ayton. You
One
got me on.
another 7-footer. That's three 7-footers, right? And we're 2 out of 4 series deep.
Who
Anthony
was the seven
Davis,
footers? You said who was the 7 footers? DeAndre Ayton.
Cat, Aiden Cat
I gotta look. I gotta do my
Rudy.
homework on this cat. I'm not letting you. I'm not just gonna let that
Cat
go
is
with
seven
this
feet
whole call
tall.
that the
Cat is
Taz
7
sell.
feet tall.
I'm not sure about that. You might be
Cat
right,
is
but I
7
just
feet
want to check
tall.
my game tapes.
So that's three through 2 rounds,
Out of
right?
it's only
AD,
and it's 4 rounds, right? You got
yeah, it's
AD
four
and then
rounds.
Bam.
AD and then Bam. Bam, I'll give you way smaller. Like he's like 6'8", 6'9", something like that, right? AD is 6'10", 2 inches shorter than him, with way more leaping ability. Way more leaping ability. So is it like you feel what I'm saying? KD's a 7 footer. I didn't even think about that. That's four through 2 rounds.
Oh, so that's what we gonna do. We gonna sit up there and act like KD was guarding Nikola Jokic for a substantial amount of that
He's
series.
7 feet tall. He's 7 feet tall.
Look at Justin will bring the stats out. Justin,
See,
look, man.
W Justin, W Justin. I tried to tell you, bro. Cat's 7 feet
Where
tall.
my moderators at, man? Yo, this is insane, man. Yo, y'all bugging,
Like,
yo.
yep.
I'm
Jokic
not
better.
letting y'all change my. I'm not going by what y'all try to sit up here and try to tell me. Listen. Whatever. I'm gonna respect what y'all saying, but my eye test shows me that Jason Tatum in these little regular season games, he's been proven to be one of the best every regular season. But when you need him the most, he comes up short. And
When you
I've
need
never
KD
seen
the
that from
most,
Kevin
he
Durant.
got eight turnovers.
Cool.
KD. When you need KD the most, he gonna get the ball ripped out his hand by Daniel Tice. When you need him the most, he's gonna get locked up by Aaron Gordon. when you
Again,
need him, when you
if
need
you
him the
have
most, he's
Devin
gonna get
Booker,
locked up
if
by
you have
JT.
Bradley Beal in uniform, KD is not going to have to head a ball like that. It's a lot of catch
Oh
and
my
shoot for
God,
KD once these guys get
this
where they need to be at.
this was last year before Bill was even in the picture. This was last year, so it's
Oh,
not
this was a
like we can't
game. I
look. We
mean,
can't
you
look.
gotta hold on. Wait a minute, Cole. We gotta consider chemistry. Like he got traded mid-season, right? To the Phoenix Suns at that. Coming
He
from Brooklyn.
requested the
And
trade.
then you don't even want to acknowledge all the drama that Kevin Durant dealt with last season. That none of that matters. The whole Kyrie and James Harden, none of that matters.
No, well,
Ben
not well. The
Simmons.
Kyrie thing was crazy, but the Kyrie thing what was that? That was 2021 and 2022, right?
But I'm saying it all
But
blew up last year when you got
right,
James Harden coming and going. You got Ben Simmons coming and and then never showing up. Then you got the whole Kyrie situation. Then you got the head coach. Like
but seven. This is what I'm saying, right? We can't keep giving him all this bail, and then he goes in the Twitter space with Low, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just missing shots." If you're just missing shots, just make them. Like I'm not. You can't. We can't give him. We can't give him all this bail. He's the best scorer in the world. He's da-da-da-da. Some people call him the greatest scorer of all time over Kobe and MJ. And then he gets to a playoff series and he's like, "I'm just missing shots over Aaron Gordon, who everybody just found out is
he is a
leading the
greater
league."
shot. He is a greater scorer than Kobe. What you make people say that?
Oh my god.
You think
No,
that's
he's
not
not.
facts?
No, he's not.
Okay, so that's two. Now they gonna kill me on Lakerland if I say anything against Kobe Bryant. I know they definitely gonna
Me
have
and
their way.
ZZ on your head. I ain't
Yeah,
gonna.
yeah. But you know what? I got you. Wait a minute. I just want to make sure because I'm gonna prepare myself for this shit. Sunday, I got this situation with all these. Okay, I got my names, and now Kobe Bryant,
hmm
a guy who in his last game get praise for scoring 60 points,
On
but
50
took
shots is
50 shots
crazy.
to get it. You're trying to tell me that he's a better scorer than the 7 foot Kevin Durant, who has a better field goal percentage and 3-point percentage and free throw percentage. All right, cool.
Playoffs.
All right. I'm gonna handle all that.
I,
Cole, I appreciate you joining me this afternoon, family. As always, man. I'll be doing my little daily live streams every day. I don't have a set show as far as like a certain time right now. I just every time there's some type of breaking news or a trending topic, I just pop up and go live. So whenever you guys see me live, y'all always welcome to join the panel. The link will always be available.
Yes,
I'll catch you
sir.
guys later on today. And Cole, if I don't see you again this week, bro, hopefully you can pull up on us on Sundays, 2 hour show and join the panel, bro.
Oh, for sure.
Alrighty. All right, y'all. Y'all be safe. I'm Seven Mitchell with the Best of Seven Sports Talk. Smash that like button for me one time. Subscribe to this channel if you're new. And if you enjoy the content, on an official note, become a member today of the Best of Seven Sports Talk. I have exclusive content, videos, discounts, perks, prizes, a lot of stuff for my members. So become a member here at the Best of Seven Sports Talk. Hit that join option. And I definitely appreciate the support. Shout out to my guys, Justin Sensation. Thank you guys for all the intel that y'all provided in the stream, because I definitely needed some of this information. But y'all let me know what y'all think about Russell Westbrook acknowledging and advising that he's willing to go to the bench. Is that really going to make any deal when we talk about the Clippers and their chances of getting the Larry O'Brien trophy, man? I'm Seven Mitchell. This is the Best of Seven Sports Talk, and I'm up out of here, man. Y'all stay safe. Peace.